up? It's your girl Kim Ray, and you're watching Kim Ray Music TV, and I'm back with another review. This is for a new show, okay? This is Greenleaf, and this is not a show that I cover on this channel, but with all of the other shows off, you got Love and Hip Hop off, Insecure is off, we gotta keep the momentum going on this show. Greenleaf is a show that I do like to watch, but it's not a show that I was covering because Queen Sugar was on at the same time and Pose, but neither one is on, so we gotta pivot, we gotta do something, right? So if you're new here, make sure you subscribe down below to my channel, like this video, and share the video with all of your friends, and comment down below on what you think about all the goings on of this episode. This is season 5, episode 1, and from what I'm hearing, it is the last season of Greenleaf. Alright, so we get our characters that we love. We got Bishop, Lady May, we got Gigi or Grace, we got Charity, Carissa and Jacob, Zora, everybody's back, right? Okay, so if you're like me, you caught up on Netflix, you rewatched all of the episodes on Netflix of Greenleaf, and y'all, I'm telling you, by the time I got done, I felt like I knew the Greenleafs personally. I watched season 1 through season 4 in the span of 4 days, 3 to 4 days, and I'm tired, I'm exhausted, but I'm ready to go. I'm caught up on all of everything. Okay, so Gigi and Bishop are down at the church. Remember, they are demolishing the entire church because Hope and Harmony and Hope has taken over, and they are about to just strip it all and build a whole new mega epicenter type thing, right? And this is with Bob Whitmore. So they are down there watching. It's very emotional. But Bishop has this type of faith. Y'all know Bishop got that type of faith where he thinks things are gonna turn around. Something big is about to happen for them. And Gigi's like, well, Dad, are you sure? Because look at them, they got the cross. I mean, they're taking it all down, right? Okay, Lady May is at the house. She is fasting and praying. She's only drinking hot lemon water, and she's not doing tea, she's not doing food. She just like, something got to happen. We cannot lose this church, Lord. And one thing I will say about the church is, or about this show is, they always turn to prayer. I mean, after they've tried lots of different things on their own and manipulated the situations in all different kind of ways, they do at least show us that they turn to prayer and fasting, and they get in their prayer closet and they fall on their knees. And so we do get to see that part, but there is a lot of hands in the pot, okay? But she's telling Aaron that, you know, she doesn't even want that old church, and, you know, basically trying to convince herself that it's gonna be okay. Okay, I'm confused why Charity got an attitude, and she talking to Phil and giving her mom an attitude and telling Phil that, you know, her whole family hates her. I'm like, girl, what did you think was gonna happen when you are the literal reason? Out of all the scandal and all the problems that the Greenleafs have had, they have somehow been able to come out on top. If it were not for you sharing a secret with Phil DeMars, the literal enemy, and the literal like antagonist of the whole show, we would not even be here. Just for him to turn around and leave you for a white girl, like Kanye said. I'm like, you brought this on yourself. And so for you to still be kicking it with him, you know, you in love with him. And I mean, as I'm watching, I'm like, Charity is so dumb. Like, it was making me feel like, okay, I'm mad that they treat her like she's dumb, like she has nothing else to offer, like, oh, you're just the singer, like, just be the singer. But on the other hand, it's like, you play into that. You act spoiled, you act entitled, you got all this attitude, and you doing your family wrong, but you living in your family's house. You're living in your that's what be blowing my mind. Like, you're not even self-sufficient enough to be like, you know what, I need to get up out of here. If I'm gonna do my family crazy, I need to have an apartment ready to go to. No, you staying in the house. Okay, so she being weird, right? Bishop is mad at Lady May for working or wanting to work with Bob Whitmore, but Lady May's like, I got to get up in this arrangement somehow. Okay, we got to keep our church, and if this is how we gonna do it, this is how we gonna do it. All right. And you know, who can blame her? Because they really are holding on by a string. They've been kicked out. Grace is out. The only person they still got in there is freaking wooed by the person there and in love with the person there. So it's like they have no hands in the pot at all. Okay, Jacob and Carissa. Carissa, I mean, if you would have told me about her character development, I would have never thought that she was gonna turn around and cheat and catch something and then be trying to pull this family down. I understand her demise for Lady Mae, but I also see her love for Bishop. And then Zora, who is staying in the little house that her grandparents are letting her stay in, is just like, why would you mess all that up? Okay. And then I'm kind of mad at the writers, because it's like, okay, Jacob did all this cheating, he ain't catch nothing, but you telling me the one time this woman who got it all together cheats, she catches a STD? But then it's like, it was about time for her to get some karma, because she was always throwing Jacob up under the bus, making him feel inadequate, talking down to him, demeaning him. So I get it. Okay, so she's talking about, you know, the parents had, if y'all remember from last season, she found this will, and she found this will through Fernando, who gave her this STD, also gave her this check for this house, but basically found out that Mac, it's looking like Mac might have had this Miss Davis killed, and Miss Davis is the one who left this house to Bishop and Lady Mae. And so it's kind of like Jacob don't want Carissa to tell. This is like her blackmail, right? And so Jacob's like, okay, fine, you can have whatever. I just want a divorce. I want to be done with you. I'm cool off you. And Carissa, like, she not going nowhere. Jacob trying to throw her out. Carissa says she ain't going nowhere. I'm like, why is Carissa so pompous enough to be sitting like, I ain't going nowhere? Like, for Jacob, Jacob's character is very like, my mama said, my mama said, my mama said. Like, his mom is taking care of him. You know, he does everything to try to please his parents. So the fact that he not running down the hall to tell his mom, like, she got this will, she trying to hold this over our head, she cheated, she got chlamydia, like, why are you, it just kind of shocks me that he's not going to tell his parents. His mom, who literally be handling everything, I'm just shocked that he ain't said nothing, right? So he does end up saying something to Aaron. Aaron's gonna find out about it. But my thing is, if Mac did this, Mac is dead, so it don't even matter. But, you know, if Mac did it, they want to know if Lady Mae knew about it. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But how do y'all feel about Jacob and Carissa's dynamic? Do you feel like, you know, you understand why she was doing Jacob like that? Because he really was somebody who didn't have the confidence, somebody who, you know, was always seeking attention from his dad and never getting it, somebody who, you know, who cheated multiple times, who had this affair with somebody in the church, who had the audacity to be knocking this girl down in the church. So you feel it? And you feel like Carissa's validated? Or do you feel like, you know what, Carissa, like, you got to go. You got to go. Like, you really have no ground to stand on. No ground to stand on. We see that Sophia is still with Dante, and we can see that they not going to end up staying together. I mean, he's back talking to Nikki. That's a little storyline there that I don't really know. I mean, Sophia, even though, you know, she wanted to have kids and that was like her whole wave, Sophia kind of got the best of both worlds, because she can't get pregnant, which is usually the thing that stops most young girls from living out their life and living out a dream, right? So the fact that she can't get pregnant, she probably is just fooling around and doing whatever she want to do. And is she back believing in God, or is she still strayed away from the church? I wasn't reviewing Greenleaf last year, so I could not share how I felt. But, you know, one thing that I don't like is this belief that as Christians, God is just gonna just take care of everything. You're not gonna go through nothing bad. You're not gonna have heartbreak. You're not gonna feel nothing wrong because God's got it covered. That is so unrealistic, and you would want a life where you go through some ups and downs and some heartache so that you understand it, so that you're not so green. And so when Sophia went through what she went through and found out that she wasn't gonna be able to have kids, I was just so upset, because Grace, the number one person who knows like life is about ups and downs, you go through all that you go through and God brings you out, God teaches you lessons. Like, why didn't y'all teach her that so she didn't get let down so hard like that? That was last season. We moving on. Okay, so Sophia and Dante, they doing their thing, but Nikki gonna mess that up. Charity is the associate pastor now, but she's complaining about it. Y'all, we already know the thing on Charity. Phil had to marry Bob Whitmore's daughter as one of the conditions, because he was saying he'll do anything, because, you know, he been in this man's shadow for 20 years. It is, I mean, this show should really be called Insecure, for real, because there's so many people that are doing things based off of their insecurity. Phil is willing, he has become the villain, and he's willing to do anything because he has not been given his shot. He's been underappreciated. He's written for Bob Whitmore. Like, he's done all these things in this man's shadow. So his heart has now become hardened, because he's like, I want my shot in the sun, right? Charity is the same way. Nobody believes she can preach. Nobody believes she can do, you know, all these things that she wants to do. She had this husband who came out as gay, which we'll talk about in a minute. So she takes it on as a slight against her. We'll talk about that in a minute. You know, so she's always been in Grace's shadow as well. So she has these insecurities. Carissa has these insecurities because she has this man who's cheated on her. This dad who was like, oh, you got to get this Greenleaf boy. And it wasn't about her going to Spelman or her, you know, what she could offer. It was about, you need to be good enough for this Greenleaf boy. Grace, does she have insecurities? I don't know. The show is just full of insecurities, right? Anyway, so that's the thing going on with Charity and Phil. Phil, like, he's still in love. He's trying to clear out his place because he got to marry this woman. And I'm just like, brother, is it really all this going on in the mega church? Like, it's all about business? Let me know what y'all think. I know I kind of have an idea of what y'all think down below, but yeah, they trying to make that happen. They trying to do it that way. Grace goes to see Darius, who is Rick Fox's character. She wants to reconvene with him because Aaron had came to let y'all, why am I yelling? Aaron had came to let Grace and AJ know that they caught the guy who actually stole from the pharmacy, and he's the guy who was visiting Grace when she was looking at Faith's gravesite. So I thought he was a ghost. I thought he was like a part of her imagination. Turns out he was a real guy. There's a lot of theories that that's really AJ. Like, who is this guy? But now we don't even really have to worry about it because AJ ends up killing himself. But I wonder if he cut himself and nah, he dead. He not coming back. So for them to kill AJ off, who always had these really sad eyes and was always like, I just knew he was gonna end up my mind is moving faster than my mouth. He was gonna end up offing himself and being the one to end his fate. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. Because he was always felt so guilty and bogged down with what was really going on. And so we're trying to figure out who this guy is that said he did it, who looks like AJ, you know, as far as the oh my gosh, the silhouette, but doesn't really look like AJ. So we're gonna find out more about him, but are Grace and Darius gonna get back together? You know, they all flirty, laughing and stuff, but Darius finds out some stuff about Bob Whitmore, basically that he's trying to run for office because they're trying to figure out what is this agenda, like why Memphis Memphis of all the, Memphis or Nashville? Why this city, our church, of all the locations, the one black church you have, you want to capitalize and build this, you know, this is where you want to have headquarters. Why? Okay, well, this is why. Okay, what about Jacob having Alexa in his phone as Joyce Myers? Okay, first of all, this is funny because, you know, y'all who be having these side chicks and be having people on your phone that you don't want your spouse or partner to know about, y'all be putting Pizza Hut, Home Depot, USAA, Navy Federal, and he got Joyce Myers out of line. He goes to see her, and I'm like, even though she said that wasn't his baby, that is his baby. And that's gonna be interesting, an interesting storyline to dive into. But he's trying to find out about what Mac got going on. She tells him about this storage, and I'm like, so for 2 years, a year or two, y'all still have this storage? Like, do storages even keep stuff that long? Okay, fine, we gonna roll with that. Okay, so let me see what else. Let me see. I think that's it, other than the fact that by the end of the show, Lady Mae and Bishop have decided to just go down to City Hall and get married. So everybody's coming back to the house. Sophia, I don't know what she had on. I don't know what it was. I know that these costume people, these wardrobe people on the shows, you know, they try to make the younger people dress like real cute and like quirky type of ways, right? But that outfit was not it. It was not it. It was not it. But, you know, this is where we see that AJ has chosen to take his own life, and, you know, Grace is freaking out. And this is just a cycle of what happened with Faith. But I think the only thing here is that AJ was so new in their lives and already causing so much trouble. I don't really see how the family is going to feel bad. Like, I kind of feel like they're going to feel like it was God's will that this happened. Now, what I have a question about is, remember, Noah is coming back. Okay, I'm kind of upset about Noah coming back because I'm like, this man coming back and AJ is dead, or are they gonna resuscitate AJ? I don't know. But you see in the previews that he's asking Grace, like, can we be a family? And I'm like, what about Darius? And the fact that he had cheated with her, and then Isabel had came back. I was like, Isabel, are you insecure as well? The show should be called Insecure, I'm telling y'all. Anyway, y'all leave your predictions down below. We are going to be reviewing this show for this season. I'm excited. I do miss Queen Sugar. I do miss Pose. But yeah, we got to move forward. We got to do something, right? I'm Camry. This is Camry Music TV, and I'll see you guys in the next video.